a controversial song, a controversy song. Now we go over to X.com. We see she makes a poster, which is a video, and she captions the video. Kudakwashe, Tagwirei, in action. Do you know what in action means? What does it mean in action? Boys in action, team in action. So it's not more like a prop-up that Tatina Mawetira post there. Kakuonererwa iye as in kuti. This is my assumption, but it's true. Like I'm reading the proper way. Reading, psychological reading is done. Arkuti, pana welcome to politics. Wa active man. That would be what like Tagwirei in action. Yeah, mapinda. And what is Tagwirei doing in that video? Now, this is where we are right now. And without wasting any time, we're just gonna go over there. Big up to everybody who's watching us live right about now. Zili say. Kwese kwa muri kutuona muri kumatima na enyika north, south, east and west. I hope you are in your best. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Tunaona video ya Tagwirei.
ZANU-PF 2030
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to repeat it again so that we can take notes. Something in this video, we can hear the rhythm that he's using, rhythm ya Tagwirei kuita slogan yake. He is in a jovial, happy mood. He is not afraid of anything or feeling inferior. In fact, he is very, I should say on slogan. Why is he doing this? And we see Tatina Mawetira posting the video. Let's say Tatina Mawetira posting the video is just coincidence. Coincidence means nothing. Coincidence means two incidents happened at the same time. Coincidence, like cooperation. Two operations were happening at the same time. So, what happened? What's happening here? We're seeing he is enjoying what he is doing. Then we can hear the discipline in a one who kudaira. It type here one wakaita say. Listen. So from the audio, me, I'm an audio person. I can tell the size of the room, and even this is not a big room. I can't more than 30, maybe one or more 20 people. It's an inside room. Room where they are making this slogan. And we can see Tagwirei, we have 4 posters. These posters, Anamiro are 4. Kutabudonge ma posters akawanda. They are just 4. This room is set up. The camera guy over set up ball is this Tagwirei's idea? This is a planned thing. Whoever planned it, maybe the artist, kind of camera person like me, who would be setting up scenes to be looking nice, just like how we edit videos or set up any live scene before we shoot a video. Right now, I haven't switched on my camera. I'm shooting this video with my microphone, but you can see I can switch on the setup. You can see the desk, the laptop is there, but I'm not even there. The laptop is a fake laptop. Here it's an edited thing. It's all graphics. We do set it up. Why is he setting up this? He's saying 2030. We heard him sometimes saying, "Gananda 2030 agenda." When you want to rise in ZANU-PF or you want to rise in politics, you lobby the leader. In politics, we call it lobbying. That's how you impress. Kuchikoro, mwana ano impressa, nekupasa. Ku politics, uno impressa, nekufadza, mutungamiri, nekuita loyal to the leader. And ZANU-PF supporters are the most loyal supporters in any political setup. They are loyal to ZANU-PF. Zvakanaka, zvakaoma, muine nzara, makaita sei. Those are typical ZANU-PF supporters. Those who will be voting for ZANU-PF even in the next election. Anambuya vatinoona vachita kumarali. Madheza takakura kuno kune vamwe vaifamba vachidaidza kumsangano kumatombo. People who would be loyal. Some of them, now I'm a big boy or a young man. Some of them, they're still working for ZANU-PF. How does ZANU-PF build that loyalty? ZANU-PF is one political party which any person can join and rise through the ranks to any level. Ungawa munhu anofarira zvematenda sana Mike Chimombe. I don't want to put zita raChivayo pamatenda because Chivayo, hate him or love him, Chivayo is a jacked up person, is a hardworking person. Chivayo is a hustler. Funga kuti, how many times do you see Chivayo cruising in his Jaguar? Iwewe, kana uri rover. What opportunity do you look for? So we have actual many criminals in our societies. But the criminals are not the go up on YouTube and by x.com. But they'll be contributing Mama Street. Contributing what? In negative chat, planting seeds of doubt. Not in ZANU-PF or any political party. I'm saying not in ZANU-PF to be politically correct. Why should I apologize for saying ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe is the only party that is still standing? We have no other alternative political party right now. All other parties have come and gone. Now, Kudakwasha Tagwirei, a billionaire, some call him Zimbabwe's Elon Musk. I think we all saw what Elon Musk was doing. He is doing his thing. If you are in ZANU-PF and you want to rise in ZANU-PF, what would you do? Would you post on x.com and say, fellow Zimbabweans, should I do this? Even Nelson Chamisa cannot do that. Even Nelson Chamisa cannot do that. We would see some people in the opposition. Isusu, we are behind Nelson Chamisa. Inine hangu ndonzi chabangu asatatanga kubisa vanu parliament. And the guys, they don't know how to represent themselves. Vanotanga kutorerwa natoko ZANU-PF. MDC alliance yanga asiri. Jesus. Like, how do those things happen? The guy Apostle Chiwenga was with wakomana opposition waninge wakatengwa wese. Meaning Nelson Chamisa. However, the idea of Nelson Chamisa leaving the CCC, according to my own thinking, that Nelson Chamisa asina kubva mu-CCC aiuraiwa. Probably nima same murderers akauraya vanhu kumabvuku. Amene vakazobatwa vanhu vakauraya vanhu kumabvuku paScott Sakupwanya uko. Do you think Scott Sakupwanya, a millionaire, would murder somebody kuti aitwe MP, member of parliament? Munhu uti kana aita jackpot anopuwa loan re 40,000. So I did an analysis on that murder video. Then towards the end, I don't conclude because I didn't want to find out the actual murder. Tindiana kauraya vanhu me Mondi Mcheri mondi kugena atsapote mondi matsotsi kana uriko kuti mpana akujairira pasinewe. Now, in a plot twist straight out of political telenovela, Zimbabwean tycoon turned ZANU-PF cheerleader Tagwirei Tagwirei has taken center stage in a 35-second video that's got X platform buzzing faster than a Harare market on payday. Posted by Honorable Tatenda Matevera at the crack of dawn for those keeping score. The clip shows Tagwirei, freshly minted ZANU-PF Central Committee member, waving his hand like a rock star. And this event is what looks like a campaign rally, complete with enough vote ZANU-PF posters to wallpaper a small village. Is this a political campaign or a patriotic poster convention? You decide. Now, a rally, a wave, and a whole lot of yellow. Picture this, an indoor shooting, a crowd hanging on Tagwirei's every move, and a backdrop screaming, "Vote ZANU-PF" in bold yellow and green, featuring grinning suit, who's probably not running for class president. The 35-second snippet shared with the enthusiasm of a kid showing off a new toy captures Tagwirei in full campaign mode, raising his hand like he's either rallying the troops or practicing for the Zimbabwe remake of High School Musical. Either way, it's a vibe, and it has got Zimbabwe's political watchers raising their eyebrows higher than the country's inflation rate. ZANU-PF's 2030 fever and Mnangagwa's forever plan. The timing could be juicier. This video drops as ZANU-PF pushes its Vision 2030 manifesto, which includes not all controversial resolution number 1, passed in October 2024, to keep President Emerson Mnangagwa on the floor and in power until 2030, because who needs a term limit when you have got an ambition? And Tagwirei is all in on the mission, reportedly chanting 2030 Mnangagwa vanenge vachitonga zvavo, and the crowd responds back in repetition. Mnangagwa will still be ruling in 2030. According to ex-user Brian Chitemba, it's less a campaign slogan and more a promise to keep the party going for another half-decade. Tagwirei from the boardroom now to the ballot box, and the bored Zimbabweans will be bombarding him. Once a shadowy businessman, Tagwirei now starting onto Zimbabwe's political cakewalk like it's Milan Fashion Week. Since March 2025, he has been popping up everywhere, donating grocery hampers to 3,000 households in Nyanga North, commissioning boreholes like a hydration hero, and even preaching the gospel of Mnangagwa at a church youth conference at UFI. His co-option into ZANU-PF Central Committee is being hailed as a breath of fresh air, but party bigwig Patrick Chinamasa is the one we see hailing whispers of Tagwirei eyeing the vice presidency or even Mnangagwa's residency, throne, are swelling faster than a Victoria Falls breeze, and Freeze, Newsweek, or whatever passes for it in Harare calls him a political dark horse. But Noton Temba Mliswa isn't buying it, snipping that Tagwirei's business savvy won't translate to political glory. Ouch, that's savage. Now X marks the drama, and X post sparked a classic online circus. Nyasa Mtauri dropped a polite good morning, clearly missing the memo on the political firestorm. Meanwhile, Munya 853 threw shade, asking why ZANU-PF is always in campaign. Why is ZANU-PF always in campaign mode? You know, governing. Chema Kuvende went full skeptic, questioning the 2030 agenda and hinting at a generational rebellion. Matevera, ever the diplomat, responded with a cool, "We listen, we do not judge," which is basically the political equivalent of "go feed yourself" or "bless your heart." The bigger picture: protests and power plays. Zimbabwe's political scene is hotter than a July bride. ZANU-PF has been flexing its muscles, sweeping self-contested by-elections on June 14, 2025 in places like Gutu East and in Caesar North, but not everyone is chanting "Hail ZANU." Protests are brewing for July 1, 2025 over Tagwirei's alleged shady dealings in a Victoria Falls road contract, with activists crying corruption louder than a combi horn. Tagwirei's financial pledges to build a shiny new party offices and bankroll ZANU-PF operations haven't exactly won over the skeptics either. And now the satirical swoop. So what's the deal? Is Tagwirei Zimbabwe's next big thing, or he's just a businessman playing dress up in a political suit? Will ZANU-PF's 2030 drama turn into a national nightmare? And can someone please explain why are there so many posters at one rally? Now, as Zimbabweans gear up for the SADC summit, all eyes are on Tagwirei's next move. Whether it's handing out hampers, drilling more boreholes, or just waving another camera. But it seems Mnangagwa will not move. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because this political soap opera is serving drama, intrigue, and enough campaign swag to fill a stadium. Dr. Clarence, broadcasting from Zimbabwe, Africa, under the state of the Kingdom of God. Now, in a plot twist straight out of political telenovela, Zimbabwean tycoon turned ZANU-PF cheerleader Tagwirei Tagwirei has taken center stage in a 35. Now, fellow Zimbabweans, our video ends here, but I'm just going to repeat this 4 minutes as I finish setting up my camera. One light rangura zomoka tambo. Then we're gonna go deeper on Tagwirei corruption shenanigans. Very deep on Tagwirei corruption shenanigans and the politics. The real truth and how we can help ourselves to not fall victim. So when this video ends, I'll end up with a light. Now, in a plot twist straight out of political telenovela, Zimbabwean tycoon turned ZANU-PF cheerleader Tagwirei has taken center stage in a 35-second video that's got X platform buzzing faster than a Harare market on payday, posted by Honorable Tatenda Matevera at the crack of dawn. For those keeping score, the clip shows Tagwirei, freshly minted ZANU-PF Central Committee member, waving his hand like a rock star. And this event is what looks like a campaign rally, complete with enough vote ZANU-PF posters to wallpaper a small village. Is this a political campaign or a patriotic poster convention? You decide. Now, a rally, a wave, and a whole lot of yellow. Picture this, an indoor shooting, a crowd hanging on Tagwirei's every move, and a backdrop screaming, "Vote ZANU-PF" in bold yellow and green, featuring grinning suit, who's probably not running for class president. The 35-second snippet, shared with the enthusiasm of a kid showing off a new toy, captures Tagwirei in full campaign mode, raising his hand like he's either rallying the troops or practicing for the Zimbabwe remake of High School Musical. Either way, it's a vibe, and it has got Zimbabwe's political watchers raising their eyebrows higher than the country's inflation rate, ZANU-PF's 2030 fever, and Mnangagwa's forever plan. The timing could be juicier. This video drops as ZANU-PF pushes its Vision 2030 manifesto, which includes not all controversial resolution number 1, passed in October 2024, to keep President Emerson Mnangagwa on the fore and in power until 2030, because who needs a term limit when you have got an ambition? And Tagwirei is all in on the mission, reportedly chanting 2030 Mnangagwa vanenge vachitonga zvavo, and the crowd responds back in repetition. Mnangagwa will still be ruling in 2030. According to ex-user Brian Chitemba, it's less a campaign slogan and more a promise to keep the party going for another half-decade. Tagwirei from the boardroom now to the ballot box, and the bored Zimbabweans will be bombarding him. Once a shadowy businessman, Tagwirei now starting onto Zimbabwe's political cakewalk like it's Milan Fashion Week. Since March 2025, he has been popping up everywhere, donating grocery hampers to 3,000 households in Nyanga North, commissioning boreholes like a hydration hero, and even preaching the gospel of Mnangagwa at a church youth conference at UFI. His co-op corruption into ZANU-PF Central Committee is being held as a breath of fresh air. But party bigwig Patrick Chinamasa is the one we see hailing whispers of Tagwirei eyeing the vice presidency, or even Mnangagwa's residency, throne, are swelling faster than a Victoria Falls breeze, and freeze Newsweek or whatever passes for it in Harare calls him a political dark horse. But Noton Temba Mliswa isn't buying it, snipping that Tagwirei's business savvy won't translate to political glory. Ouch, that's savage. Now X marks the drama, and X post sparked a classic online circus. Nyasa Mtauri dropped a polite good morning, clearly missing the memo on the political firestorm. Meanwhile, Munya 853 threw shade, asking why ZANU-PF is always in campaign. Why is ZANU-PF always in campaign mode? Governing. Chema Kuvende went full skeptic, questioning the 2030 agenda and hinting at a generational rebellion. Matevera, ever the diplomat, responded with a cool, "We listen, we do not judge," which is basically the political equivalent of "go feed yourself" or "bless your heart." The bigger picture: protests and power plays. Zimbabwe's political scene is hotter than a July bride. ZANU-PF has been flexing its muscles, sweeping self-contested by-elections on June 14, 2025 in places like Gutu East and in Caesar North. But not everyone is chanting Hail ZANU. Protests are brewing for July 1, 2025 over Tagwirei's alleged shady dealings in a Victoria Falls road contract, with activists crying corruption louder than a combi horn. Tagwirei's financial pledges to build a shiny new party offices and bankroll ZANU-PF operations haven't exactly won over the skeptics either. And now the satirical swoop. So what's the deal? Is Tagwirei Zimbabwe's next big thing, or he's just a businessman playing dress up in a political suit? Will ZANU-PF's 2030 drama turn into a national nightmare? And can someone please explain why are there so many posters at one rally? Now, as Zimbabweans gear up for the SADC summit, all eyes are on Tagwirei's next move. Whether it's handing out hampers, drilling more boreholes, or just waving another camera. But it seems Mnangagwa will not move. So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned, because this political soap opera is serving drama, intrigue, and enough campaign swag to fill a stadium. Dr. Clarence, broadcasting from Zimbabwe, Africa, under the state of the Kingdom of God. Now, in a plot twist straight out of political telenovela, Zimbabwean tycoon turned ZANU-PF cheerleader Kudakwashi Tagwirei has taken center stage in a 35-second video that's got X platform buzzing faster than a Harare market on payday, posted by Honorable Tatenda Matevera at the crack of dawn. For those keeping score, the clip shows Tagwirei. Alright guys, we're here right now. Ndapedza kuita setup lighter. It's the LED light 5 watt arone, but it's the one I use. I'm using an inverter. Now we want to be talking about Kudakwashi Tagwirei corruption. Video yapera kudala. This part is for those who just want to be talking. Mbuya V says this move is going to destroy ZANU totally, because Chiwenga is going to run with Chamisa. We need to understand who Nelson Chamisa is and who Chiwenga is, and ZANU-PF level of politics. So even from 2017, I was watching Mnangagwa. Like I was doing a lot of videos. I'm Mnangagwa. Time yes, I know that cool. So those days I used to do my video are predictive. This is going to happen next. This is going to happen next. I've since stopped those videos. Of course, I'm still making Zimbabwe content, but I'm considering making for other nations. Because when you make an informative video, as Zimbabwe naturally, they start lashing out. Anotanga kuboyikana. Ukatanga kutara useful information, that is helpful, educated information. Munano boyikana. So we have to balance They call it being humble. But this part of the video is not about being humble. It's about those who like the truth. And we begin with Kudakwashi Tagwirei. Remember, Kudakwashi Tagwirei is not Energy Mtodi. And Energy Mtodi is not me, and me, I'm not you. Naenda gumira pa Kudakwashi Tagwirei is not Energy Mtodi. Ndaigo notangenda wanzira Energy Mtodi. Kudakwashi Tagwirei or Energy Mtodi, any of those guys, they are also not Dr. Tungwara. They are not. They are not Christopher Mchangwa. They are not Patrick Chinamasa. What we notice when we look at ZANU-PF stakeholders, the owners of ZANU-PF, the leaders of ZANU-PF, my characters at Noziam ZANU-PF, each and every one of them, ane style yake, ne pattern yake, yemaitiro ejuno. Even outside ZANU-PF, we see people like Temba Mliskwa. Big up Temba Mliskwa. Ane pattern yake ni maitiro yake. Chinotimba ane pattern yake ni maitiro yake. Chamisa ane pattern yake ni maitiro yake. Yakato siana na Tendai Biti. Tendai Biti politically, according to me, no offense to Biti, he's a brilliant person, but he was growing up. I think he had less faith in himself. So growing up politically and understanding politics, we as human beings, when we are in politics, we don't need to hate each other. Tourayana. Vanorayana in the name of politics. Like Kumarain Kunoku. Mafuza, Mangwakayashi Sungiri, Tistakara Bokomna 2008. That level of foolery. What we call are superstitious. Superstition in education. Then who come at my yard and thingy? They can harass me because I don't want to start politics. Second, going to politics, so what? Whoever the hell you are, sack. Wangawati, Wangoti Uda Hondo Nene. Got signed on my paper and got pan and put it shoot down, right? So we have those type of people. One scratch tell loitering packet bang. I mean, I thought China bribe when did all things, whatever. Can I know when the chafere also think it's a rope and I'm gizis funeral pala. Ofungo achona jano fungo my blessings. People do kill people. We see Job Scala is arrested, spends 2 years behind bars. He's genuinely representing family and more blessing Ali. But some people, because he's a person with love and genuineness, they go to him. Vum gaisa are in that moment. So, me, I have always been doing technical work, not necessarily psychological or social work. But now, growing up, I'm actually realizing these things, I may actually be well informed. Let me seem like off topic. Muzimbabwe munom. Take away the power plants edu, but shine load shedding. Do you know why Mageta changed Zimbabwe? It's not because we don't have enough. The guys with power installation, whatever education they learn, they are not taught to think, to be innovative. And you are not taught that anyway. Vanema power plants, but magets anorana nyika. Anopana kustowewa in my batteries. They are the type of batteries anoshanda ikoko. Oro. You may use a dam as a battery to pump water, but the problem in Zimbabwe ndiye kuti consumption level yema gets aina kufanana. Pane pamwe panoshanda magetsi stereki, but magetsi ari kugeneratewa achingoenda. magetsi ari generate achingoenda. Ko magetsi atino waste patine tichishandisa magetsi mashoma like patati takararama nheru magetsi haasi kushanda. Tinovhara here Kariba Dam kuti imbomira kufambisa mvura. Mvura yese, mvura is a battery because it's a storage of potential energy. In physics, they form 3. Physics don't think form 3 2 years yet. Right? I'm explaining that because when I tell me battery, I'm going to go I'm crazy. But here they are uneducated or uninformed. So we don't have enough electricity because we don't have those batteries. So the next thing we need to do, we need to be getting those batteries. How? Think solutions. Are we going to be using dams as batteries? What can we use as a store for power? Can we be using centrifugal weight and rotator? There are many solutions. Can we be pumping water back into Kariba Dam? Magetsi pasiri kushanda. Kana tichita loss yemagetsi, we'll be losing magetsi due to induction, heating yema generator. But my generators, we have many technologies. Brushless, magnet, ties, things like that. We have many things like machuo thieves. Right. I'm just random. Now, back to Kuda Kwashita Tagwirei. ZANU-PF. Corruption is corruption. Any member of no organization, corruption is corruption. ZRP corruption is corruption. Private citizen corruption is corruption. But I'm going to ask you fellow Zimbabweans, you personally, wakambobirwawo mari nehurumende here? Wakambobirwawo sende here neZANU-PF? Wakambobirwawo mari here nakuda Kwashita Tagwirei? Wakambobirwawo mari here neuchivayo? Paunogumbuka unenge uchiziva nyaya iri kuitika here? Uchi chakaitika? Back in 2018, I used to speak to Minister Tulingube. Pano abudisa financial policy yake. Ndona ndamdala. Cause awaita izaona daziterezi ndichipopota. Then he would listen and do some adjustments among my days when it's about the eco-cash. I ended up doing that because the professor we met but he couldn't even track mari kushikira vakupa forex yeye kutuka withdraw mari waipuwa 2 bond pamusoro ye green mari rewards because they couldn't track. Personally, I wouldn't offer the guys information on how to track because when the system tracks, ZANU-PF is made of private individuals. Like anybody can join ZANU-PF. Just like how CCC is made of all the guys receiving cars and chi. Nobody is a Jesus Christ. We might waste our times complaining about ZANU-PF and feeling entitled. Ladies and gentlemen, who are you as a person? Kuda Kwashita Tagwirei is one of the greatest businessmen we have in Zimbabwe. One of the most innovative minds. The time Kuda Kwashita Tagwirei starts trading fuel, I wanted to be doing the same thing. Around that same time, maybe if I had started then, I would be as rich. I would be following, even from time I said, Sukuere com oil, the indigenization. So I'm looking for funds to be getting the tankers, etc., to be sourcing the fuel. How do you source the fuel? We see the gold mafia video If you watch that video and you are an honest person who anonzwa basic language, apana kumbunzi vanhu vari kuita money laundering. They are using a hawala technique which is very brilliant, and keep it up, keep on doing it. So the guys mining gold, keep on doing it. If you want a license to be mining, the opportunity is there. If you want to be buying and exporting, you can do that. If you want to be farming tobacco, you can be doing that. It's up to you. Now the reasons. Ruwengo is not unique to any group, but it's more amplified in ghettoized communities, in dysfunctional societies. We're now talking sociology. We see uneducated people, Kashinji, they are poor, they are superstitious. There is stress from financial insecurity, lack of access to education. If that exists, the thing we may have is mental slavery of what we have to be educated in a certain way. You as a person, who are you? We hear Tagwirei talking about farming, saying my son is a better farmer than me. Mwanawako will always be doing better than you if you teach them your trade. And my grandson is a better my grandson is a better farmer than me. You, when you're doing anything, you do it better than your own father and better than your own grandfather. Now, if your own father is a billionaire, no matter the age, whether one or child praiser, my father was into woodworking. I will be doing woodworking also when I'm primary. Random people, some of them I see them coming here still, and their children. Now I don't welcome anybody. Sak, why are you saying that? I've learned from the best. But in a ghettoized community, such behavior happens. Ghettos were not meant to be developed. You develop going away, you move out of the ghetto. That's why it's Tinova ghetto. Matapi flats. Anybody who is talking about improving those flats is a fool. Use that money, build other places somewhere else, and maybe give the people. What economic activity are they doing? We need my developers. Pick up Mdarama Bamba. Guy akatanga kuta land development. Kusatkwani ma land baro na iba. A genuine person, and he would make money doing that. Chicken Inn is frying good chicken and is making money. And if somebody gives you an opportunity to own a home, imagine kuma ghetto kuno kwano dai kusinati kuma infill vanhu vangadai vachigara pai. How many homes were created? Then enter corruption mumakanzuru medu. Shinoana not Chamisa. Chamisa and the Acheta Minister of Health are one. The Acheta Minister of Ningrinar one. Because Triple C. Kokasaran. We should be accountable. At Fanek praise and everybody should be accountable. Do your job. We should not be my populists who are swayed by populism. Because no man is an honest man. And honestly, I'm an honest man. Now, you know the Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, shelter, self-actualization. Now, that hierarchy of need makes it harder to prioritize empathy or social cohesion. So when people are poor, they are dehumanized. Kotanga hate morality. vanhu vachihide under morality because they want to loot somebody who is productive. They want to hide under the disguise of land reform. But some war veteran would be demanding land, some greedy war veteran, and the land reform, the downfall of Zimbabwe. And may his soul rest in peace. Chounganidza ma-war veteran votoenda nematemo ndo pakataka violence muZimbabwe. Before the year 2000, we would see the emergence of Morgan Tagwirei. In 1997, Zimbabwe National War Veteran Association ichangotanga. (1997), I don't know how old I was, maybe I was 9 years. I was aware and following ndiri kuchikoro primary. I would read my newspaper, my teacher. My daily news, my chichi, daily news. Makatunanga taichapa pana Garfield, madisi chango pana Zopa. Tonina Mate, I don't know where he is right now. The Herald, etc. People don't want the Herald. No matter that Jonathan Moy and this propaganda. Shame on him. But I respect him as a professor. Of course, he was doing his job. He was in opposition to Jonathan Moyo. And ZANU-PF strategically hired them to help ZANU-PF. That's how ZANU-PF is. ZANU-PF is not a murderous party. They take in talent for their own benefit. What happened to Itai Dzamara? What happened to the brother of Itai Dzamara? The brother we know akazofane cancer. Ashaya mari kunorapwa. But we see him in activism, nemoma activists, achita meeting, workshop chichi, anoshaya nomubatsira. You as a Zimbabwean wakamubatsira munhu kana hama yako. Kana mukoma wako kana muningi wako kana mwana mukoma wako kana mwana muningi wako kana mwana munini wako. Kana munhu anongoti sende muningi yako. Wakamubatsira munhu. I'm not saying you haven't. Ask yourself that question. That you expected ZANU-PF to be helping you, because ZANU-PF is made of people just like you. They are brilliant and intelligent, those guys. If it's an evil what they are doing, those guys are well educated. They are British educated. They are very, very well educated. So social phenomena, we need to understand. So general paper sociology, I cannot be giving people those things. And I'm Jesus Christ. I walk in the name of Jesus. I'm not a Christian. Jesus was not a Christian. But I follow the teachings of Jesus. Tekushandisa pano pasi panyika. When we begin in the book of Proverbs, says the fear of God, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. Uchitya Mwari. Hauite corruption kana uchitya Mwari. Hauvenge kana uchitya Mwari. You don't say what you don't know kana uchitya Mwari. You don't just lash out at people kana uchitya. You don't slander. Slandering inoitwa wikine chivayo. That is slandering. Kana uchitya Mwari. Nyaya hii waiudzwa nani? Waiudzwa na professor of social studies. Waiudzwa na professor of active psychology or philosophy here. bandwagon effect. Zimbabweans, instead of being productive, we are busy crying. Instead of building our own Wikneuchivayos, our own Roja Bukas, our own Strive Masiwas, we are busy trying to turn the next person into another confiscated white farm, into another confiscated idea telecell, into another poor network quality net one. It's supposed to be the best configuration. Now we see ministers, Starlink, ladies and gentlemen. So this is where we are. Right now, all the nonsense would begin. Land reform program. Tagwirei hunji. 1997. '98, '99, 2000. The 4th year, he dies. Tagwirei Hitler hunji. The guy who left a curse on Zimbabwe. In 2001, he dies at age 51. And now Zimbabwe is in chaos. Vaprinta mari. Vapa war vets ma 50,000. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to cut myself. I'm just ranting generally. Hint another one hint wait anenganzwa. Let us not be a bandwagon. Wotutenga kutoshi refer iwewe as murombo. Why are you struggling? Do what you do best. Learn a skill. I'm going to resi. A poor society, a dysfunctional society, there is scapegoating. It becomes a dominant narrative. Ukatadza kuchengeta mhuri yako wotanga kuti ndimnangagwa. Ndimnangagwa watatotengera vana vako chikafu. Ndimnangagwa. Yeah, to it. Adjust. Those who are prospering, how are they doing it? Chimbava Shinamari. Mbava is the Western state of being. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The devil is the father of all lies. Remember Proverbs saying, the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Then amplification by the media. I don't consider myself the media, but imi munoda kuti taure nyaya. Mnanga kwa wacha manje. Mnanga kwa macha manje. Ya azoyenda. Ingatonogadzira madocumentary ku BBC kana ku Al Jazeera. Kana kugadzira macartoons eDreamworks. But right now in Tori Mugeto ndirimba mangu ndogara ndiri one. Ndototata kusenza because of some fools, and may God kill them quickly in the name of Jesus. Chilemba muti vanonga avatsi vanhu. mapete tinofilter mosquito. And if you're a person with logic and thinking, why would I be saying something like, I mean it? I don't say what I'm not saying. I say what I speak, and I speak what I say. There is groupthink on social media. Let's avoid group thinking. Chamisa this, chamisa that, chamisa this, chamisa that. Asha ita say. Groupthink leads to unchallenged narrative, hate, and blame towards outsiders or institutions. Then there are social effects, social phenomena, like the bystander effect in social phenomena. There are things like social identity theory. People derive identity from their conformity. So I always talk about ghetto muno. Unoona vanhu sakata muline makuseni vachitaira kuma 5 makuseni. Vese vanozora cobra red paflow. Vanonotenga muriwo kumazuva rovira kuma 5-6. Vana kuchikoro vanenge vaine lunch box yakafanana. Same mazoe, same chingwa, same mafurayi remazai kana zvirizo zvavanenge vachiita. Vanoenda kubasa kumwe chete. Aiwa. Pamwe vachinda kubasa kumwe chete vanobuda times imwe chete. Kubasa kwako kunonga mabenefit akafanana. Ndo vanoswera vakaungana vashandiri vaSatani. Planning seeds of destruction. You know, if you see no evil, speak no evil. Social identity. Don't identify yourself with a loser. It's better to identify yourself with Chivayo. Kuti I'm the young Chivayo. Ndani kupadzwa nemunhu anotara achiti zichivayo zimbabva. Una zibhodhi rake riya wangu. Chivayo anofamba neRolls Royce yekuti ikatengeswa ka inotenga dzimba 10 kwete mugeto. Inogona kuvaka 3 zvikoro, mota 1. Some call it hoarding. Kuri munhu asenza ago social come on. That is anti-civilization. We see scapegoating, blaming specific group for specific problems. Inequality. What is equality? People are not equal. Are you equal? Ni mwana wa mai wako chai. What is equal is this world that God gave us. And who are you to be deciding kuti mumwe munhu ngaafunge sei? Iye achifungira, achitsvagira mari yake yekuraramisa mhuri yake. Hate mentality. Aggression. It's a hypothesis actually. Asha. Social comparison theory. Echo chamber effect, bystander effect, de-individualization, ghettoization. It's all social. I'm going to sign out. Fellow Zimbabweans. My Minister of Education, it's a general paper. More social studies. Muna 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 1 month. My basics.